show ain't the best, then you better stop it. From MLB runs to NFL X's and O's to the NBA's dribbles and shots and pick and rolls. Lulu, Mike, and Mark debating from they souls. No other three can match up toe to toe. The way they be dropping so much knowledge, what have you in your feelings wanting to get brolic? But I promise, once they debates get started, it's going to be impossible for you to just stop it. So tune in now and stop playing. And by the end of the show, I bet that you'll be saying, just tune in now and stop playing. And I bet by the end of the show, you'll be saying, this is the realest sports show. This is the realest sports show.
And y'all know what it is. Y'all know what show this is. Happy freaking New Year to everybody out there. Happy freaking New Year. I hope everybody enjoyed their New Year's Eve. I hope everybody enjoyed their, whatever the case may be is. I hope everybody enjoyed their celebrations on Christmas. Hope everybody enjoyed everything about the brand new year already kicking off. This is the first show of the brand new year. I'm y'all host tonight, Mark, a.k.a. The Vet, in the building live, y'all. And I just want to say, y'all already know what the show is. It's two-way. So y'all information is more important than my information, and my information is more important than y'all's. No, I'm just playing. No, this is a two-way sports radio station, y'all, here, and we are live back in the den. So a lot of news has come about. A lot of things came about in the last NFL's topics, and a lot of coaches have been fired. A lot of things been going on. So let's get right into it. We're starting out with these playoffs, everybody. Let's start off with the playoffs here. Everybody knows what's going on in the wild card. Everybody knows whose team is in, whose team is not in there. And let's just kick it off right into it. Starting out with the playoffs here. We got Houston versus Indianapolis, Seattle playing Dallas, LA versus Baltimore, Philadelphia and Chicago. Shout outs to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Shout out to them very much so. They got in there by beating the Washington Redskins at the end of the season, which was a 24-donut game. Last game of the season, Minnesota losing, so they had their opportunity to get in there with the win, and Minnesota losing, which should have been the Washington Redskins spot, though, but we'll say that later on down the road in the show. Now, another up and shout out to the Dallas Cowboys out there, the Dallas Cowboy fans out there. I know y'all fan base is very, very much excited to hear that your team is in the wild card this year at a 10-6 rate this season. Y'all going up against a magnificent offense and a magnificent defense, which is the Seattle Seahawks coming into town, playing in Jerry's World, as everybody would say Jerry's World, because Jerry built that stadium by bare hands and everything else in that nature. So we're gonna go with that. With $1.6 billion. That's what I said. Yeah. So moving right along, Philadelphia is in there. And these two wild card games is coming on this Saturday, which would be, as I will show you all this Saturday coming up, Houston, Indianapolis, Seattle, and Dallas. So Dallas will play this Saturday at 8:15. Houston will play Indianapolis at 4:35. So if you guys are watching and tuning in, y'all will get y'all chances to see that. So we're going to jump right into what's going on in this Houston game versus Indianapolis. You got Deshaun Watson, hot man. This Houston team has been hot and stellar all season. This last coming weeks of the season. Going 11-5, only losing 5 games this season. Managed to come back from where they were and how they started out this season with 3 losses. Came back on a massive win streak before losing their last game against the Colts, 24-21. Then they lost against the Eagles 32-30. So this team has been battling all year long, and they just managed to pick up some wins, managed to get back in first place, managed to do what they had to do to carry this team out. Deshaun Watson's been on fire all year long. Half of these games were close. Some of these games were just blown out the pocket. So I'm interested in seeing how this team can bounce and keep going and winning against the Colts. Now, the last time they played the Colts, it was a 24-21 loss. It was a 3-game loss against the Colts. Now, if I was Houston, I'd be looking for some revenge in this game because of the fact of the matter is that y'all ain't just going to spank me by 3 points and then think that I was not going to come back in the wild card and play y'all again and not beat y'all this time frame. The Colts have a shot and Houston have a shot. Now, either one of these teams, you know, with Indianapolis on their cold streak, man. Their cold streak started out a little bit. They started out a little bit shaky in the beginning of the year. Managed to win 10 games, pull away 10 games with a 6-game losing. You know, with 6 games they lost. This team right here, these teams right here, man, I tell you, they're resilient. They managed to get what they needed to do. Andrew Luck settled down in the pocket, had his head on focus in majority of these games. And he's out there just playing ball now, having a little bit of fun like y'all are supposed to be. Having fun with the game. If the game's not fun anymore, why do it again? Deshaun Watson, another character, you know, settled down in the pocket now. Now he's moving around a little bit. He's out there playing ball. And this team right here looks like they can actually go and play up against whoever they got to play up against next week. Because if it's anybody that I can say that's going to knock somebody out, that's New England and Kansas City. So you will be playing one of them 2 teams in the next round. Now, these teams that's right up here, now Houston or Indianapolis can play one of these 2 teams coming out of the wild card. Now, if I had to bet, it'd probably be Houston or Indianapolis going up against New England. Kansas City going to play the winner of Baltimore and the Chargers, if I had to take that total part of the bet. Let's talk about these Dallas Cowboys now moving forward. Last time out, Russell Wilson took the last game against, you know, the Dallas Cowboys out there. Dak Prescott looking like he wanted to go out there and play the whole game last game of the season. He went out there and played the entire game, which they wanted him seated for the entire game. Just halfway in the game. Due to the fact of the matter is that, man, look, this game is meaningless. Has no sense of value in this game. So why are you going out there and playing the entire game? But you want to, you don't want to keep that rust on you. You don't want to go into a wild card game rusty or anything else. But they did sit down Ezekiel Elliott in this game, though. The entire game. They did sit down Zeke. So, hey, credit where it is due. Now, key things for the Dallas Cowboys to do to win this game. And that is number 1. You got to get Zeke running. And they got Zeke running last time. Dak, you had to go out there. You got to ball out. You got to do what you got to do in this game. You got to do what you did against the Giants last game of the season. You just got to go out there, have fun, do what you did, scramble out, move out the pocket. Now, the things that's going to get you in trouble is your accuracy. If your accuracy don't get you in trouble, it's going to be taking too many hits, holding the ball too long in the pocket. That can get you in a lot of trouble if you don't move around in the pocket. Now, Russell Wilson, on the other hand, can get out the pocket, move around a little bit, run, scramble, and throw the ball downfield. He got offensive weapons. As far as the Cowboys is concerned, you got to get Amari Cooper started early. You got to get in this game and get him started early. If you don't get him started early, your hopes, or if you don't get your Cole Beasley and these two and your tight ends, they don't start moving the ball with them 2 key players, you won't have any leeway, because all your leeway is going to be with Zeke. Zeke running the ball 100 times a game, this game. And that's going to wear him out. That's going to wear him down. It looked like he don't even have an off switch, though, but that's the key ingredient right there to your offense right there. Ezekiel Elliott running the football effectively in this game. Now, knowing that Seattle will have to stop the run game this game, they will have to stop the run game. If they do not stop the run game, then you might as well can cancel Christmas. But they did stop the run game last game, and they did pull out a victory against the Dallas Cowboys in the beginning of the season this year. So hats off to them. They have to be able to stop this run game. They have to get Dak to start throwing the ball a little bit more. Show his inaccuracy. They have to be able to go out there and beat the defense. Had to get off the field. They have to get off the field. That means you have to tackle better. That means you got to do whatever you got to do to make sure that the Dallas Cowboys get off the field on offense. Because if they hold the ball too long or the clock runs out, that's game over. We all know that. Now, if you don't shut down Amari Cooper, which you already know is a threat, doing deep with the ball, if you don't shut this man down, we already know that this game right here is going to go a long, long way down range. It's going to go down range with this game. They're going to throw the ball deep to Amari Cooper. They're going to throw him on a slant. They're going to catch him on crossing routes. Anything to do to mix up this offense, that you gotta create distractions in this offense. And I'm talking about Seattle's defense. The defense in here has to get out there and start pounding the rock. Now, on offense for the Seattle Seahawks, you got to go out there and you got to be able to run the ball too. You got to get Tyler Lockett involved. He has not dropped a pass all season long. Let me say that again. He has not dropped a pass all season long. He's been targeted 70 times, has 57 receptions. Now, has not dropped a pass. No drops. Yeah, I can look this information if you want to, but he has not dropped a pass all season long. He has 965 yards, averaging 16.93 yards averaging that. That's what his average is, 16 yards per pass attempt, with 10 touchdowns coming in this game. Amari Cooper, 75 receptions, 107 targets, 4 drop passes, and coming in this game with 1,500 yards, 13 yards per attempt. 13 yards per attempt. Now, so with 7 touchdowns coming in this game, you got to get these two. Tyler Lockett has to get open. He has to break free. Van Der Esch has to get in this game. And he has to play like Sean Lee would play in this game if Dallas has any chance of winning on defense. This boy has to go out there and he has to fly to the ball. That's for both sides. They got to fly to this ball. If you don't fly to the ball, then you're going to lose the game of battling for possession on going upfield. Meaning first downs, third down, on third downs. Third downs is what really matters in this game. Third downs are going to count in this game. If you don't beat them on third down, if you don't beat the Dallas Cowboys on third down, if you don't beat them Seattle on third down conversions in this game is going to go towards one end, and that's for Seattle. Seattle has to go down to Jerry's World in the Dallas Cowboys territory. We all know Dallas Cowboys can cheat in their territory. That's what they're known for. That's what they're famous for. But we're not going to say that, though. We're not going to put that out there like that, but we all know it's the truth. But in the same token of breath, you have to go out to Dallas territory, AT&T Stadium, and go out there and win this game in a hostile territory. This territory only gets bigger and better as the season progresses on for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they didn't won 10 games. They didn't won the NFC East this year. Bad luck. Now, bad luck. A lot of teams have favored this team to be out of the playoffs this year and not making it to the playoffs this year. But I don't know what Jerry Jones whispered in the coach's ear or what he whispered in the Doc's ear after the games they lost this year. And I can take y'all back to that game. In particular, the game in particular I'm talking about is, let me go back. It was after the Panthers game. Right after the Panthers game, the Dallas Cowboys coach was like, Jerry Jones was like, look, y'all got to start winning football games, man. Y'all lose one more game, we're done. We're done. You need to go out there and start winning football games. If you don't win, somebody's getting fired this year. And it don't matter who it is, don't matter what is going to go happen, somebody getting fired this year. And in my expert opinion, I'm thinking that the head coach going to get fired at the end of this season, or he's going to get fired at the end of the next season. One of the two things is going to happen. We got to figure these things out. Now, coming in here on radar here, excuse me, everybody. Got a little bit of technical difficulties here. Give it 1 second, everybody. Lost the pen. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of problems. Give me 1 second, everybody. I know that was funny. All right, there we go. Now, back to what I was saying, everybody. Now, there are favorable people in this game that are out for Dallas. Sean Lee is questionable in this game. Torrey Smith is questionable in this game with a neck injury. Tyrone Crawford is out this game. So day to day is Amari Cooper with an injured neck. These players are all the players that they need in this game to win. Now, going up the matchups against Seattle. Seattle has a big, not too many people that's out, but let's see here. Doug Baldwin is the day-to-day process with a groin injury. We all know Earl Thomas is out for the rest of the season. That's a big key factor, too, for this defense, though. Moving right along to everybody's questions. I already see Ravens to the Super Bowl this year. LA and Baltimore. Lamar Jackson is getting lucky this year. Lamar Jackson is out there balling out this year. He has 6 touchdowns and 3 interceptions this year already, and already thrown over 1,000 yards this season too. Phillip Rivers, we all know him. We all love him. Veteran quarterback going up against a rookie quarterback. Now, the key things in this game for Baltimore, key things in this game for the Chargers to do, gotta stop the play action plays. You gotta stop the read option plays in this game against Lamar Jackson. That's what they're going to utilize in this game. That's what they're going to realize in this game that's going to happen. They're going to get Lamar Jackson the ball. He's going to run out there. He's going to scramble out. He's going to move the ball. He has speed with him. So if they can manage to keep Lamar Jackson in the pocket and throwing the ball, you might got a chance to win this game, Chargers. Now, as far as the Chargers' sake, you got to stop Melvin Gordon from running the ball. You got to stop their number 1 receiver this year, Keenan Allen, from catching the ball this year. You got to stop him from going deep with the ball. You got to stop him from catching the ball. You got to play defense on him. And as also, too, is going against Michael Crabtree. If the Chargers can stop Michael Crabtree from catching the pass this year, you might got a chance of winning this game, Chargers. You might got a chance to win this game. Baltimore, you know what you got to do. You got to stop Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon can run. Once he gets loose, he's gone. He's taking off. He's running down the field. He's taking off. No problem. No questions asked. He's going to take off downfield. Now, this game, I'm in favor of KC and the Saints in the Super Bowl. All right, Charles, I see you. I see you, baby. Shout outs to Charles. You said KC and Saints. Now, I see key favorite matchups here, and I'm sorry to say that, though, but I got Houston winning Indianapolis by 3 points. I have Seattle coming out this game by 7. And I see Baltimore might get squeak out a win by 3 points in this game. And now, but surely not least, this Philadelphia and Chicago game. Philadelphia versus Chicago, everybody. Philadelphia versus Chicago. And you got a young Nick Foles who won a Super Bowl last year. There's the storyline here. There's a storyline here. Now, if Nick Foles can go out there and prove to the world that he is day 1 ready material, which he started the season out and didn't do so well at the beginning of the season, though. He didn't do so well at the beginning. But now if he can go out here and actually prove to the world that he can win another Super Bowl, and with the right training through training camp and stay on this team again, you're going to have to pay this man some money. You're going to have to pay this man some money. You're going to have to get this man the money that he deserves, and you're going to have to get this man whatever he truly wants. He won y'all 2 Super Bowls now. Now, Nick Foles is going up against this high-powered defense with what's my boy name? I keep forgetting his doggone name every single time though, and I shouldn't be really forgetting his name though because he's an awesome player. And he just got traded over there. I cannot think of his doggone name, and I just had his name in my ear. Give me 1 second, everybody. Shoot. As soon as I get to that point, I'm going to get to that in a minute. But anyways, like I said though before, and I'll say this again, you got to go out there and stop. Khalil Mack, that's what it is, Khalil Mack. Offensive line, you got to stop Khalil Mack. How do you stop Khalil Mack from coming off the rush? You got to double team him, or you're going to have to doggone make sure that this man can't get to your quarterback, Nick Foles, in this game. He's going to cause a lot of problems on his with this defense. Now, that's just one side of the defense. You got to run over the other side of the defense because once you stop him, then that means they're leaving room for another player to come over there and sack the quarterback. This defense can bring pressure up the middle and on the sides. The Bears defense is not a joke this year, bro. Done stepped up. Thank you, Dave. This defense has yes, I do. This defense has stepped up a lot this year. This team was favored once they got Khalil Mack to actually win and go to their playoff game this year. So I'm very proud of this team. I'm very proud to see what this team could do in the playoffs. I'm very proud to see what they can do against this Philadelphia Eagles team. This team is not to be played around with, Philadelphia. So you got to go out there and you got to go hard in the paint. You got to stop this defense going out there on you. Now, the secondary is kind of questionable, though. But if Philadelphia can manage to hold off Khalil Mack and the other side of this defense, I believe they got a chance to go. I believe they got a chance to win. Now, to flip things over just a little bit, as far as Philadelphia is concerned, you got to stop Nick Foles from going downfield with the ball. How do you stop Nick Foles from getting the ball downfield? Got to bring the pressure. Got to stop Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is a monster tight end. He's a monster tight end. If this man gets open or gets a chance to feel the ball coming his way, he's going to catch it. So he's going to catch it like catching a cold. That's how he's going to catch it. If you don't stop him in this game, you cancel Christmas for y'all going out there. And really, the Philadelphia's run game is not really on point. So the Philadelphia Eagles got a problem with the run game. They got to establish something, and they got to go out there and make it work for them. Got to establish this run game, and it started out in this season. So Mitchell Trubisky, he's another storyline out there. Can this man lead his team to the next round? It's all coming out there. It's all now. Nick Foles is a veteran quarterback. Now we all know that. But in the same token of breath, though, Mitchell Trubisky, he has to go out there and prove something. He has a right shoulder injury coming into this game. Now, that might affect the Bears' offense just a little bit with him throwing the ball downfield. He is a right-handed quarterback, so that might affect them just a little bit in this game. We got to watch out for that coming up in this game on Sunday. We got to watch this game on Sunday. These are the key players in the game that you got to watch out for coming in this game. Now, the odds of the favor is going for Philadelphia to win this game by, I think, 3 points. The Bears coming out the game by favorite of 2 points in this game. Now, we got to move on just a little bit and come away with this game. Chicago, I got Philadelphia winning by 3 points in this game with this attack of the defense. Moving right along, everybody. Now let's get down to the big question here. Let's move down to the big question here. And I know this has been possibly a question on everybody's mind coming in this week and coming down to the wire for this week. Is there a problem in Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh got some problems going on. And I need to know from you guys, is there a problem going on in Pittsburgh? Are the Pittsburgh Steelers really kind of falling apart after they did not make the wild card this year, or they didn't make the playoffs this year at all, period? What is going on in Philadelphia this year? Y'all may ask me that question. Let's check it out. You got Antonio Brown, and you got Ben Roethlisberger. Then you got the head coach, which is Mike Tomlin. Now, Pittsburgh says, and I quote, Mike Tomlin confirms he benched Antonio Brown in the last game of the season. Teammates don't believe he was hurt. Nobody believes that Antonio Brown was hurt in the last game of the season. So why was he sitting? Why did you bench him? Now, reports have confirmed he was absent due to injury and lack of information, Tomlin said. Lack of information. We take his lack of presence as something very significant and will be handled appropriately, so he said. Brown took to Twitter during a press conference and said this: my options may seem limited by people or circumstances. It is then that I remind myself I am in command of my attitude. I am divinely blessed with free will. I utilize that gift, choosing to take charge of my life. to express the creativity, vitally, and wholeness and truly define me. He also was seen tagging San Francisco in his tweet, in one of his tweets this year. He said, Happy New Year and be great at the end of his tweet. Now, Antonio Brown, do we trade him, cut him, or keep him? Trade him, cut him, or keep him is a question for Pittsburgh. I can give y'all 3 answers on that question right now. If you was to trade Antonio Brown to another team, the lack of the team effort that you would get out of that would be this: you lose your top wide receiver on your team this year. That's number one. Then if you trade him away, he goes out there and ball out next season, and he actually makes the money that he wants next year. But just being on a team for next year, you're gonna wish that you never traded him. This is a high-star, talented wide receiver. Yes, wide receivers come and go. They do. They come and go. They have their season, and they come and go. But this man right here, Antonio Brown, what he has done for this team in the past up-ton seasons that he has played on his team, you don't get rid of a gold mine like that. Now, his attitude needs to be corrected. His attitude, his presence, his arguments need to be corrected in the league this year. That needs to be handled in-house. We have seen recent things in that nature by even just talking about DJ Swearinger, who was also cut last year by the Washington Redskins due to talking too much, microphone in the mouth, too much in the regular season, spitting out too much information. Now, Antonio Brown, was you hurt? Was you not hurt? Who is the leader of this team? Where is the leadership at on this team? Because it damn sure ain't with Ben Roethlisberger. Damn sure ain't with Mike Tomlin, because he can't get his players under control right now. That's the argument that everybody's saying right now. Can he get control over this team and get this team back on track? You lost Le'Veon Bell this season, the entire season. After you didn't franchise tagged him. Didn't show back up this season at all, period. Then did he? No, he did not. So, with that being said here is that you have to get control over your team. Otherwise, you will not be back in the playoff spot this year. So, how do you get control of your team? I give you 3 reasons why you should keep him. Ben Roethlisberger, connection with him. Now, he was not targeted as much this year because they're double teaming him on the side. So Jimmy Smith-Schuster, hey, I'm wide open. I got more catches now this year because I'm down range and I'm doing what I got to do best. I can go get the ball now. Boom. That's your person you hitting all game long. Now he's wide open. Now they double teaming him. AB can get some catches now. You got to spread the passes out. Him and Ben Roethlisberger know each other very, very well. So if I was anybody else, I would possibly keep him. I would try to keep him on this team and get him a chance to go out there and do better things next season. But get this thing under control. You got to get this team under control. You got to get this problem under control for next season if you want any shot of coming back next year and actually potentially going to a playoffs next year. Got to get this problem under control, Mike Tomlin. And that starts with up top, and that goes right to the Players Association. The players on this team. You got to get them under control. If you don't get this situation handled appropriately, you will never win a playoff game. And that's not even just with your run game or Jimmy Smith-Schuster, because they can go out there and ball out and do the same damn things that AB can do. But you got to get this team under control because those are your 2 offensive weapons right there, with Le'Veon Bell being out. But James Conner has stepped up this year and actually moved the rock with the ball, moved the ball this year. So, how can you do anything this year? Got it. Next year, get your run game solid. Get AB some touches next year. Get him what he getting. Now, I don't know if Antonio Brown is signaling that he wants to be traded, Or is he telling everybody in the world that he wants to go to the 49ers next year? That's left up to him. That's left up to this organization. And that's left up to everybody that wants to see what's going on this year for next year. We got to see it in the offseason. Now, moving right along. There's been a lot of coach firings this year. I don't know if everybody's seen this, though, but there's like technically 8 teams without a coach this year already. Now, I would tell you all that I've already listed out all the coaches staff that's already been vacant this year. 8 teams need a head coach. That'll be the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Cardinals, the Jets, the Buccaneers, the Packers, and the Browns all need head coaches for this next season coming about. Now, the Bengals are already talking about Hugh Jackson coming to their team, bringing him in for an interview for the Bengals head coaching position. Marvin Lewis is talking about moving up towards management position, so that'll be a good fit for them. And that'll also be a good fit for Hugh Jackson to be with Marvin Lewis, and they can actually team up and get the players that they want and get the players that they need. It's a good fit, good look, outstanding things to come about from there. Now, the Cardinals need a whole makeover. Cardinals need to change up their whole thing. Their defense need to change over. You just got DJ Swearinger back. You need to upgrade this defense. You need to upgrade this offense. This team was ranked last, almost dead near last this season with the Cleveland Browns coming up. They won more games after Hugh Jackson's era than they did with Hugh Jackson being in play. That's a damn shame. That is a shame. Now, I'm ready to see if the Bengals actually do pick up Hugh Jackson, which is probably going to happen. It's a huge guarantee that's going to happen next year for this team. But the Packers, they fell apart. The Packers fell apart. So did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They fell apart. The Jets, they were doing okay, but they fell apart. The Cardinals are only head coach. Now, the Bengals, Marvin Lewis was playing there for 16 seasons. 16 seasons. Adam Gase, or whatever his name is, 3 seasons. Todd Bowles had 4 seasons to make a turnaround in this campaign. Didn't turn it around for the Jets. Tampa Bay had a chance with Fitzmagic and Jameson Winston, which, by the way, will be coming back for 2019. Will be coming back for 2019. He will be coming back around this 2019 season. And there's still more tickets. There's still more firings ahead of us right now. So we got to wait and see who else will get fired, who else will come about, and who else will take these spots that are left open. All right, everybody. Now, I get to the fun part of my show where I get to talk about my horrendous Washington Redskins team this year. I get to tell you guys about a team this year that has struggled. I get to tell you guys about a team that has to get on the board. I get to tell you guys about a team that is injury prone. Yes, we're very much injury prone. I get to tell you guys about a team that is by far effective when they're on board than when they're not on board with the game. Washington. In all of my lifetime, in my whole entire life, I've never seen 16 players on injury reserve. Never seen that in my entire life. But wait, there's more. I've never seen the offensive line go down so much like I did this season, like I have now. But I hear Jay Gruden say that there's not a problem with the training staff. Then I hear that this team is moving forward for the offseason. Everybody's clearing out the locker rooms. Everybody's talking about this. Then I hear that the team is not possibly bringing back Josh Norman for the 2019 season. You might trade him away or you might get him cut for the 2019 season. Have you lost your mind? Have y'all lost your mind, really? Teams is kind of scared when Josh Norman comes over there, but they're not scared anymore. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you all and say that Josh Norman has had the best seasons of his life this year. The best season of his life this year. I'm not going to lie and not say that. He has one of the best seasons that he could have did better this season. Coming out there, you talk all this trash. You talk about everything else. You talk about, oh, I'm going to be stepping up my game this year. You talk about how you're going to do this year and how you're going to do that this year. But are you really stepping up your A game? Are you really going to step it up that much this year? I mean, next year. Are you really going to step it up next year? Because the defense, you let passes, on defense, you're letting passes go by you. You're letting people beat you downfield. Do you really want to be here after DJ Swearinger just left? Or are you just going behind him? This team can use you, but you got to use this team too as well and step your game up. That's not even the nitty-gritty of the whole situation here. I hear a lot of people talk about firing Jay Gruden. I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, we want to jump out there, we want to do this, so we're not going to do that, and we need to get injury. We got to stop being injury prone. I'm going to tell you like this. The players that you have on your team, on your offensive line, let's start there first. Let's go a different route. The Hawks 2.0 are beat up. Trent Williams is beat up. Hand injury, leg injury this next year. What else is going to be? Neck injury 1 year, 2? You got to change this up. You got to change this up. You got to get better. We got to get tighter. We got to get this workouts going great. We got to get this team ready for next year. We got free agents this year that we got to work on this year. We got a lot of things to do this year. Washington, you really don't have a chance to sit down and do anything this year. Now, where can we go right at? Where can we go right? You got HaHa Clinton-Dix, unrestricted free agent. You got James Crowder, unrestricted free agent this year. Adrian Peterson, AP, is a free agent this year. Tyan Secchi is a free agent this year. Y'all know what his name is. Outside guard is a free agent this year. Now, Preston Smith, James Crowder, Jonathan Cooper, all free agents this year. Restricted free agents this year, Rob Kelly, Byron Marshall, and Maurice Harris, all restricted. Now, the likelihood of you signing back James Crowder and HaHa Clinton-Dix are very high. The livelihood that you can sign back Adrian Peterson is very still high because he wants to work with Darius Geist next year. Now, we can bring them two back. We might have a run game next year. The main focus that you have to focus on for this offseason, offensive lineman, a quarterback, and somewhere on along down the road, we got to focus in on something that we got to get more importantly, which is a secondary that can cover. And wide receivers that can go downfield and go get the damn ball. We got to be able to go get the damn ball. Just got to. There's no other questions about it. There's no other answers to the equation. You got to have receivers to go get the ball. Now, with that being said, there is a free agent, Mr. Deshaun Jackson, who is back on the free agent totem pole. Now, we have seen what this man can do with the Washington Redskins. He had a 1,000-yard season with the Washington Redskins. Played down there with Mike Evans. Didn't do so great. That formula didn't work so good. But when you was the key wide receiver for the Washington Redskins, you had the opportunity to go downfield and go do what you had to do. Now, this is just the offense. Jay Gruden, you got to get better at play calling. You got to have plays already ready for the next man up mentality. Because this team can go down at any time frame. You got to be able to coach better. If you don't be able to coach better, you don't do nothing next year. Every team that I've seen has next man up mentality. Everybody that I've seen has already been playing this game. They come in the game like they've been playing the game for 20 years. They have no rust. They have no feelings towards the game. They come in the game ready to go. You got to get these boys trained up. I don't care about how many reps they get, how many things they do, what they do right, what they do wrong. In Endeavor, you got to get these boys some reps in there. You got to get everybody trained up with the first string offense, second string offense, third string, fourth string practice squad. We got to get these boys out there under the helm, these quarterbacks out there, whatever one you want to bring in, you got to get them the reps in with everybody on the team. Hey, I know it's snap count. Hey, I know this. You were ranked either second or third in penalties this year. Penalties, yards allowed this year. Penalties, offsides, false starts this year. That was just in the ending of the season alone. How do you have 5 false starts in one quarter? How do you get 6 in another quarter? That reputation got to go. You got to go. You got to get these boys practicing now. You got to get these boys conditioning now. And forget about all these talks for next year. You got to find the players in that locker room that want to come out here and they want to play. If they want to win a Super Bowl, let them stay on the team. If they just want the money, get them out of here. I don't have time. We don't have time in Washington no more where it's saying crunch time anymore. Well, we don't say, well, we could say nowadays, oh man, next year gonna be our best year. No, ain't no more time in that. It's time to nut up or shut up. And every year I hear the shutting up portion of it. And I'm tired of being shut up. I'm tired of being showed up on that field. And this team is way better than they putting out there. These players are way better on paper than they are on the field right now. Yes, there's some big name stars out there. Yes, we come in the stadium for big name stars. Who wouldn't? But this team has to come together and do something different. This formula is not working. Because Jay Gruden, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to tell you like this for straight up right here. I'm going to tell you this straight up, Jay Gruden. Your season is numbered. Your years are numbered after 2019. If you don't get this team together in 2019, my brother, I'm going to tell you like this, you're going to be fired on the field like Jim Zorn was. Washington, you'd have gone through 4 quarterbacks this year. 4. You'd have been through Alex Smith, who got hurt and potentially won't be back next year. Colt McCoy, who potentially won't come back, who potentially coming back next year, but who really cares about McCoy right now? Sanchez, the worst thing you could ever picked up in the offseason. I mean, in the season. The worst person you could ever even start. Josh Johnson, a young man that hasn't played a snap. Nobody knows about this guy, but he really didn't have he really had an okay season this year. He showed you pocket pressing. He shows you he can get that read option out there. He shows you he can move the ball. But what if he started this season off fresh? Give him another shot. See what he can do. Give him the offensive weapons that he deserves. Give him the offensive line that he deserves. Let's try it out that way. Before you come on this press conference and before you come out there and actually say something smart, think about it, then say it. Because you need this team to work next year. Otherwise, you're gone. That's just the offense. I ain't got into defense yet. Let me get into the defense now. Let me get into the defense's ass now. Because this defense, although y'all were on top of y'all A game, you were on top of your A game. I don't know what happened when Alex Smith left. You dropped the ball. You dropped the ball. And don't even give me no slack and tell me that I didn't see this for myself. You dropped the ball once Alex Smith dropped down. You were keeping us in the games. You were keeping us here. You were keeping us focused. Once he went down, that was it. That Saints game was horrible. Saints game was horrible. The Giants game was even sadder. You let them score 40 points in the first half. Can we talk about it, people? 40 points in the first half? Then you try to come back and later on down the road talk about, oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Then you let the Philadelphia Eagles blow you out at home when you're playing for pride. Playing for pride. And you let them blow you out at home when we could have spoiled their playoff hopes. We could be talking about a totally different team here at the last game of the season, 8-8, 500 football. But no, I got to talk about a 7-9 team that's going out there and it's sad. It's sad. It's truly sad that I got to talk about this team this way. Defense, you dropped the ball. You had everybody on defense with size knuckleheads. Monte Nicholson doing knuckleheaded things this season. Reuben Foster, who did knuckleheaded things before he came to the team, and you still can't get that under control. We had nobody on our team that had any domestic violence situations going on in this team. Until now. Reuben Foster. But we don't know how much that story is true. But let's talk about it, though. Let's talk about it for a minute. Monte Nicholson beat somebody up in Virginia, of all places. Let's talk about it, people. Let's talk about this real talk here. You got to look at what's happening to this team. If you really want a player's evaluation on a team, look at the gameplay footage. Look who's out there really trying to play football. Greg Minuski, let me get on your case too. Because you calling things out that bothers me. You had your defense almost damn near ranked number 1 against the rush defense, and you went there and crumbled it. 2 big men up front, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, the best two defenders you can have on your team, couldn't stop the run at the end of the season. They look weak. Instead of playing against the run, you played away from the run. Sometimes zone defense don't always work because that's when you leave the wide open middle. Sometimes man-to-man defense can actually work. DJ Swearinger was not wrong about some of his comments that he made, or none of the comments that he really made. But I would have respected him if he kept it in-house to you. I give you that much respect. I do give you that much credit, though, because he was right. You were right. You should have kept that in-house and not with the microphone in your mouth, as Jay Gruden would say. But let's talk about this, people. Let's really get into the nitty-gritty of this, people. When I say this, this team, and it starts with ownership next. Because this ownership of the team, Bruce Allen, I've been hearing about you getting fired all year long. I'm waiting to see it. I am truly waiting to see that you get fired. And go where you need to go. Because I don't need you on this team. You're destroying my team. Daniel Snyder, I'm not even going to talk about you because you know you just do what you do best. You're going to be one of the worst owners in the league. And then we're still talking about moving back to RFK Stadium, where this team really needs to go back to. RFK Stadium, whereas this team needs to really build, we can see that happening. Don't move this team down to Virginia. Who can come down to Virginia to watch this team play? Virginians? Nah. We in D.C. want to see this team. There will be a meter next year. This coming year. I will have meters. I'm going to have a lot of different things. A lot of analysts come up here. A lot of different things are going to come up this year and for next season, y'all. But like I said, moving forward, you got the nucleus right here where you needed that. If you don't at least get back Clinton Dix and get this man working out, be that voice, be that leader of this team for next season, you cancel Christmas. Because you don't have Monte Nicholson no more until he gets his act together off the field. I'm going to rip this team apart in offseason. I'm going to rip this team apart today, y'all. I'm going to rip this team apart from the head up and the down. We're going to talk about this team. This team needs to move forward. This team needs a coach that's going to move them forward. This team needs leaders that's going to move them forward. And I'm not talking about leaders on the team coaching staff. I'm talking about players. We need the London Fletchers back. We need the Sean Taylors back on this team. I need them people that's going to talk shit to you on the field and tell you you suck. I need the Brian Mitchells back that tell you you suck on that field and tell you need to man up and let's go play ball. Because they don't allow failures to be on their team. They want championships. They want championships. But they was denied championships because of defensive problems. They was denied championships because of offensive problems, offensive struggles. They were denied these things because of those struggles, or denied these things because of coaching problems. They denied these things because of what's going on upstairs in the office. You more so worried about what's going on in the street and not worried about what's going on in that field. I'm really tearing this Washington Redskins team apart. And like it if you agree with me, y'all. I'm going to really tear them apart. I'm sick of it. Every season I see the same thing. I'm tired of being shut out or shut up out of the playoffs. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm truly sick of it. Y'all sit up there and, oh yeah, next season. I hear y'all come on. Oh yeah, next season we're going to come out there and we're going to do great things. We had too many injuries. Injuries is not a case. You should have already had the next man up mentality. I understand it's a 53-man roster. I understand that you can't keep everybody on the team roster that you need. But if there's 48 players on the team and I got one quarterback left over, I need to bring a quarterback in. I need to work him out on the practice squad. I need to keep him over there so he can at least get some digestiveness of my play schemes. I need to move forward with this team. I need this team to move forward. Next season is the season. Dallas fans been talking about it all season long. They got their Dak Prescotts and their Ezekiel Elliott's. I got my Adrian Peterson, my Darius Geis. I got my Chris Thompson. I got a quarterback that could possibly do some dangerous things next season if it comes about. I got 4 men that's right there. If I add Deshaun Jackson and I add my boy, if I can add, where is he at? If I can add Paul Richardson Jr., if I can add these players to the team, I got wide receivers now. Jordan Reed, if he can't stay healthy, I'm sorry, you got a deuce. I love Jordan Reed to death. I do. I love me some Jordan Reed, man. That man is the good man. He's a good tight end. He can block. He can do with everything. I love me some Jordan Reed, though. But if Jordan Reed can't stay healthy, I'm sorry, you got to bounce. I'm paying you too much money to get hurt. You're getting hurt too much. It's time for you to bounce. Let me go get a tight end that can stay healthy at least for some seasons. Or I'm going to sit your ass down on the bench. Let's go. Let's move forward. It's time to stop watching the games on TV. It's time to go out there and play the games on TV. This team on paperwork is a Super Bowl winning team. Super Bowl. 2 seasons straight Super Bowl teams. And you let the sorriest team in the league beat you guys. You let the Cleveland Browns, they ain't beat y'all, but you let the Cleveland Browns have a better record than you all this season. And they ain't won a game in 2 years. The last time the Cleveland Browns won a game was when RG3 played for them. They had a better record than y'all. They ain't had no if a mindset of, oh man, I ain't got a head coach now. Oh, I ain't got this shit now. Now I got to move forward. No, they had a next man up mentality, and let's go out there and play some football. Let's go win football games. Let's go do this. You know what I mean? They had this mentality. And they wanted to move forward. They wanted to move forward. We got to adapt that mindset. Jay Gruden, this is your year now. It's either you do or you're going to die this year. Do or die season. Your season is here. Your campaign is here. You had 5 years. This will be your 5th year. If you stay above this season, I haven't heard about you getting fired yet. And I haven't heard about you doing anything yet. Or making any big moves yet in Washington. We got till Friday. Matter of fact, we got a whole offseason to hear about it. But we literally got till Friday to figure this thing out. And that's literally what I'm going to say about that. Remember this, guys. Remember this. I said this live on here. We ain't heard anything yet. But it's coming. And we will move forward with this. Now, in breaking news, now I had to get that out the way. I'm sorry, guys. I was on a rant. I was on my rampage a little bit. I was on my rampage just a little bit. And I got to talk about baseball a little bit here, guys. I got to talk about this baseball thing here. Bryce Harper. If you're a Nats fan, Bryce Harper may be coming back to D.C. as we know it. He does not have a home yet. And I know I talked about Bryce Harper a little bit last year, but Bryce Harper might be coming back home. He might actually stay with Washington if the paperwork is right, if he wants to be on his team. Now, there's talks about the Philadelphia Phillies, the White Sox, long link to Harper are reportedly both willing to give the 26-year-old the 10-year or longer contract that he is seeking, according to ESPN. And if the teams aren't to his liking, Harper will wait. He's apparently willing to hold out into February before signing a deal, a source told. Now, Harper, who is the Phillies are willing to have are having a face-to-face meeting with him, with Bryce Harper. But as I was told in the last meeting, however, Harper has also reportedly been meeting with representatives from his former club, the Washington Nationals, leaving open possibility of re-signing. The Nationals, however, are not expected to offer more than 10 years, $300 million contract they offered before the end of last season. Now, if I'm smart, and if the Nationals are smart, you will go back and get this talented man that you need on your team. I would give him the max contract that he's asking for, and I wouldn't go over nowhere else. Because $300 million is not enough money for me. And I want to be on a winning team. And now if I could lock you in for 10 years, $300 million, I'm willing to go up $400 million. Let's go $400 million. Let's go $500 million. Let's go max contract with this man. This man ain't did nothing but bring hope and joy to this team all for the past 5 up-ton seasons that he's been here. Why would you get rid of a star talent like that anyway? But if I'm a Nationals fan like I really am, I'm going to keep him. Now, I would tweak this lineup with giving Strasburg a chance to go back down to the Double A's until he get healthier again. Sorry to say that, but he ain't healthy. The man ain't healthy. He ain't never played the whole season. He hasn't played the whole season yet. You one of my star players. You one of my star pitchers. You ain't won a game yet. Now, last year, the Nats didn't do what they were supposed to do last year. After you got rid of the Dusty Baker era. But now I need to see something different. It's Washington. I need to see something different. Your team is ready to go. On paperwork, you look decent enough to make a wild card. You look like a wild card spot. But at the end of the day, can you show me something different this year? Can you go out there and pitch better? Can you hit the ball better? Can you do something better? Don't start the season and don't finish the season. Let me say that again. Don't start something and don't finish it. Because once you start it, you're not going to be able to, and you don't be able to finish it off. I'm sorry. Go out there and start the season and finish the season strong. Start strong, finish strong. And pray to God that you guys can come out there with all the players that you have at the beginning of the season. I don't know what this curse is in DC. DC has been cursed for a long time until the Capitals won. I don't know what's up with the DC curse. DC teams just don't make it sometimes. But that curse has been broken twice with the arena football team. Washington Valor. Not a lot of people talk about them, though. They won a championship. The Caps won a championship last year. We got to do the same thing with our baseball team, our soccer team now, our doggone football team. We got to win something, people. The Mystics. The Mystics had a chance last year to win. We got to support our teams in D.C., baby. We got to support the teams in D.C., y'all. And it's sad to say that it's sad to say that we all sometimes give up hope on these teams. Don't give up hope. Support. Defend your teams. Dallas do it. Everybody else's team does it. Philadelphia damn sure does it. Support and defend your teams. They just won their first Super Bowl last year. That was Philadelphia Eagles last year. Go out there and support your teams. Stay supporting your teams. And let's hope for a better season next year. Let's hope for a better season for the Nationals this year. Let's hope for better things this year. And I'll be back, and this is my time, y'all. I'm going a little bit too much over my time a little bit, though. But I wanted to give y'all the best show I possibly could give y'all tonight. We started off a little late, y'all, but hey, who the hell cares? We back live. This is the Realest Sports Show, y'all. This is the Realest Sports Show, and y'all know how we do it. We start off slow. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit later. I want to see how many viewerships is out there, y'all. I want to see it for the 2019. Hit that share button in the corner, y'all. Hit that share button in the corner. Like, love, and listen to the show. All positive vibes this year, baby. We ain't bringing nothing but positive vibes this year, baby. 2019 is our season, y'all. Season 7 coming up a little later down the road. I'll let y'all know when that is. I'll even let y'all know the season finale of this show. Probably going to be doing Super Bowl time frame, y'all. The end of this show for Super Bowl time, Season 6, will be done after the Super Bowl of this year. That is the due date of Season 6 ending this year. And I'll let y'all know back when the startup date for Season 7 will start, everybody. So stay tuned. Stay focused. Peace, love, and joy is what I'm spreading on this show, y'all. Thank y'all for watching the show tonight. And I would love to see y'all back here. Hopefully Friday night, baby. We rocking out, baby. I'm Mark, a.k.a. The Vet, and I'm signing out.
And this is the Realest Sports Show. This is the Realest Sports Show. See, this is the Realest Sports Show. See, this the Realest Sports Show.
And we out, y'all.